Welcome back to the Life and Strive podcast. This is episode 202. On this episode, we did the Indy Marathon weekend recap. We had an awesome weekend. We went to the expo. We had an awesome shakeout run with a ton of our athletes. I think we had around 75 to 90 people show up, which was amazing. And Swiftwick was there. Really cool experience. We had a team dinner. We did the race. I paced Danny in the race. He had a tough back half. He talked about what he thinks happened the back half of the race. I talked about my pacing experience. Scotty talked about his spectator experience as well. So this is a really fun episode. I hope you enjoy it. Hope you learn a bit from it as well. And if you like it, please leave a review, drop a comment, share with a friend. We'll catch you on 203. When we're running through Norton Commons or the Pewee Valley area in Louisville, Kentucky, it's pretty easy to spot Mason Construction Home. The attention to detail, the quality, the stunning design, you can't miss it. It stands out. We aren't just saying that either. Our own co-host Scotty trusted Mason Construction to build his forever home, and he and his family couldn't be happier. Don't tell Scotty this, but we're at his house a lot because we love the home. He's all right too, though. If you live in the Louisville or Southern Indiana area and are thinking about building your forever home or doing a remodel, there is nobody else to trust with this project than Mason Construction. The link to their website is in our show notes. Click on the request information option and start the conversation about what your forever home could look like.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Life and Stride podcast. This is episode 202. We're recapping our amazing weekend we had at the Indianapolis Monumental Marathon. This is Danny. I wanted to start out by addressing something that happened on race day. There were two people who passed away during the race, and just in the spirit of the podcast and just community, we wanted to extend our condolences to the friends and family of the people who passed. And, you sign up for marathons thinking that you're going out to better yourself. And we do it for all these different reasons. But the reality is that these things happen. And we're just very sorry to hear the news. And if you want any official updates on that, they are on the Monumental Marathon's website. So I encourage you to go there. Without further ado, let's get into the podcast recap and talk about what went down this weekend.
Let's do it, Danny. What a weekend it was.
It was great, man.
Lord have mercy. Yeah, we were talking, what were you going to say, Dan? This is your race. I want to hear.
Well, I was speaking to someone who's not in the running. He's just a friend of mine. And he was asking me how my race went. And the short answer is the race went okay. But my real answer was the weekend was amazing. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Because there was so much that happened besides the race and in the race that made it really worth reflecting on. And can't wait to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, the Indy Marathon, we were talking about it with a couple of our athletes in the chat today, and somebody said it's the Goldilocks race or a Goldilocks race. I don't know what necessarily that term means, but he's basically said, and this is what we've been saying about it, it's big enough that gives you kind of all the feels of like a legit big official race. It's a great course. Weather's perfect usually. Sometimes it actually can be too cold, but I'd rather have too cold than too hot, right? And but it's also small enough where you can get a freaking hotel at the start line. I mean, Danny's hotel is very affordable relatively for a downtown hotel on a weekend, and he was 100 yards from the start. Like it just doesn't get better than that, right?
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, not only for the reasons of logistics, which are perfect, by the way. It's small, medium-sized town. I would say kind of a sub-major is what I would call Indy. I would also group Houston in that category, CIM, and so are in some other popular races like Grandma's into the sub-elite. But logistically, very easy to get to. Central location. Midwest fall is undefeated. It was just beautiful. And by the way, we did hit the perfect window of weather.
Yeah.
On race day yesterday, because we're recording this on Sunday, day after the race. And it's like freezing and windy there. The day before it was like too hot. And so the just right was yesterday, which is why it is a Goldilocks race in terms of conditions. The course is super flat. There's a couple rollers on the back half that are kind of long, steady inclines, and you get a little more of that variation of grade. but everything that you go up, you get back, and because the start and finish point are in the same location, basically. It's a giant loop.
Of course.
Yeah, besides that, I think it's a great time of year in terms of training because you have that like summer block. Sometimes in the summer, if you're in the Midwest or in the South, it gets super hot. So it's hard to hit goal pace stuff. So it's just coming into the coldness of fall where you're able in the final weeks of training to hit some of those paces that you maybe struggled to hit all summer. So that like things
So
are
true.
clicking for you right as you go into Indy. I can't say the same for Chicago. Sometimes you get a couple days like that, but you get a lot more to kind of prepare for that race pace feeling when you sign up for the Indy Marathon. I think that's another like great part about it that's understated.
A huge thing. I've spectated it 3 years in a row now. I just signed up for it because I said no more spectating. I want to race this. It's so
Yeah.
fun.
Like
But
today you signed up for it.
I
Like before
literally
getting
signed
on
up.
this podcast.
I signed up 1 minute ago, like 1 minute before we started recording. Dude, the spectating. I saw Danny and my wife 6 times. My wife has spectated a lot of races. I've spectated a lot of races now. And I've never seen anybody hit anybody 6 times, like for support.
Was it really 6 times?
Yes, 2, 5, 11, 16, 23, and the finish.
Okay.
6. Like
Yeah.
I ran along the finish with you all, kind of. I mean,
You ran for a solid
it was like
600 meters.
yeah, it was like 0.3. I mean, I almost, oh my gosh, like don't do this. But there's like barricades, like they do a finish shoot with like fences and stuff, and there's people wall to wall like the whole way. And I'm running like through the sidewalk, sprinting with a camera, filming Danny and Alex like sprinting the finish at whatever 5:30 pace or whatever they were going. And
Thanks.
I almost
Still 5:15 for the record.
okay 5:15, and I almost decked a kid. I mean, I was like looking over, looking straight, looking over, looking straight, and I looked straight, and there is a 3-year-old that dead in front of me, and I jumped over him. And the parents were right there, and I was like, I am so sorry. And I just kept sprinting. I knew that was a possibility too because I was dodging people. My backpack kept hitting people. And I was like, I should probably stop doing this. But
Yeah, I mean, that was a really cool shot though, because
yeah,
you saw us turning that second to last corner, and then there was a long straight, and you see the shot of me and Alex bringing it down the final 800 meters, and we're stride for stride. There's Scotty's behind the crowd, so you can see the backs of the crowd's heads, and like through that, you can see Alex and I running together. It's super, super cool shot. So
yeah,
nice job with that, Scotty.
I worked hard on that. But awesome spectator race. Overall, Indy's like top 3 race for me.
Dude, I think it's the best race in the country for all the reasons we talked about. Streak just joined us. What's up? What's up, legend?
Dude, I agree. I think Indy is my favorite race.
I think it's the best race in the country for all the reasons we just said. And I had that thought in the first half of the race. Like, I want to do this every year. Like, I want it. And we're not sponsored by the Indianapolis Marathon at all, but maybe they should put us on the payroll for all the
I think we had the biggest shakeout.
blazing.
For what it's worth, I think we had the biggest shakeout.
Yeah, no. Yeah, well, let's talk about that. I mean, I took Friday off work, used it as a travel day to make it to the hotel on time, basically checked in, threw my bags in the room, made it to the expo. We had like a group meet up at the expo. I would say probably 20 people met up all there at the same time around 1 o'clock. The expo is super easy, relatively small, in and out quickly. It's not long lines. I mean, it depends on what time of day you get there. I'm sure it's a little more crowded after work on Friday.
Yeah.
But like, if you want to talk about the biggest expo I've ever been to, it's probably Chicago, and then Boston. And Boston is relatively inefficient because it's just like huge and winding. But Indy is not like that. Indy, like, you can go up, get your bib. We had people that were kind of misplaced in their corrals. They went to runner services, asked to get their bibs changed to a different corral, and like got moved up. No problem. No questions asked. Streak, anything about the expo?
I was just gonna say, like, what's so funny about expos is like, so when you walk in to Indy, and every expo does this, like, they do not let you go out the way you came in. You like have to walk through all the
The vendors.
merchandise. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's so funny. They do that at every race, but or like at Chicago, they put the bibs at the end of the vendors, so you have to like walk by all of them. So I think
Yeah.
that's always like funny. But no, the funniest moment from the expo was our friend D Roney. Our other buddy Eric took a photo of him like in the line of the elite bibs, like he's pretending to pick up his elite bib. So that was funny. But yeah, no, we had a lot of people there. It was fun. It was fun.
Shout out D Roney. He was willing to lend his watch to one of my athletes who forgot her watch. She was an hour down the road from Lexington. Texts me and was like, "Hey, I left my watch at home." And I was like, "Okay, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this information." So I was just thinking that to myself. I was like, "All right, well, I could probably find one for you," because Floberg was going to come down. He hadn't left Chicago yet. D hadn't left from Louisville yet. And so I was like texting people, and D came up strong, brought his Koros because he wasn't racing, and met Ali at the expo, was like, "Hey, you could just use this." So Ali took it from him, ended up like Instacarting a watch from REI, had it delivered,
No way.
and like a Koros, and then ended up giving the watch back to D. So
They probably smart.
shout out.
She's gonna. What's that like skin thing you can get like that like from like rubbing people's sweat on? I forgot what it's called. It's got like a nasty name, but yeah, D wears that while he's landscaping, while he's
Oh, like
mowing,
the scalp lotion.
doing all the
Fucking
stuff that D
like
Roney does. So I was like, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't know if D listen to this. D, I love you unconditionally, but I don't know if I'd want to wear your cloth watch band, bro.
Yeah, he has like the nylon strap too. I
oh,
have it
that's
as well.
sus.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's the
this
thing.
thing goes to the shower for sure, like once a day, and it
Yeah,
gets
Shout out.
soaked.
I want to make a quick shameless plug to the Life and Stride racing team, like our coaching network that we've created with our we have almost 90 athletes now, right? And there was what was the official number? Anybody know?
at the shakeout.
No, official number of our athletes we coached running Indy.
I had
Uh,
6,
I had 5.
so that's 11.
Dang, I didn't know you guys were gonna come prepared with the amount of athletes you had. I'm gonna go off the top of my head and say six, but I could be wrong. So we had around 20. Let's just say 20.
8, yeah, including Danny and Striegel, about 20. And it was really cool for myself and other people, 20 different people to have a meetup at the expo. Usually, like, if you're coming from an out of town race, you go to the expo by yourself, you go get dinner by yourself, right? You go to the start line by yourself, or maybe to meet like a buddy or two. But there was a group of 20 of us plus mobbing the expo, mob the shakeout together. There was 50 people in the start picture at the Marriott an hour before. It's just a
Yeah,
cool community.
and at the expo, it was a lot of familiar faces that you've seen
Mm-hmm.
from the internet, from the group chat or an Instagram account or Strava, and then people walking up from real life. It was just kind of a cool feeling of, okay, this is Henry from Nashville, or this is Zane from North Carolina, or like this is some Allie from Lexington, and it's like, okay, like everyone, like you all should meet each other and talk, because a lot of you guys are running the same paces and going for sub 3. We had like 3 or 4 people in a pack going for sub 3 who we just connected from our group, and they ended up working together throughout the race, and so it was just a cool moment to like get it in real life and see everybody there. So after
Dude,
the expo, what's up, Stree?
I was just saying we've definitely gotten lucky with like how great of people we have on the team. Like just I don't know, like you can't like we never know who's gonna like sign up on our team, right? But it's just like
Yeah.
everyone's good vibes. Everyone like legitimately cares about what the other person runs. They track each other. If they're not in the same city, they're tracking each other on the Discord. Like, yeah, it's just cool. Like, I don't know like how we got lucky with the people we have on our team, but like I always tell people like we like created the Discord. Like we created the Discord chat. We named the chat. We invite people to it. But like the people on the team like curated it to like what it is now. And it's just like it's crazy, man. We just got really lucky with like a great group of people because I don't think we are where we are now team wise without those main group of people that are like setting the standard for the culture on the team. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Genuinely, like the marathon, like to be able to train and race a marathon at that level, I feel like that does the work for you on finding like awesome people,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
like scummy people or jerks don't run marathons, right? They make fun of people who run marathons. So somebody
Yeah,
who's going to train
self-select.
for a marathon, usually they're legit and you want to hang out with them.
Self-selected for like optimistic, hardworking person,
Yeah.
like-minded people for sure.
Yeah, shout out to the guy who commented on my Double T YouTube this week. He said, "What kind of production is this?" Shout shout out to
You
that guy.
said, you said, dude, that's a high compliment. Say, it's honestly a great production.
I just
Appreciate
commented. I wasn't sure if it was a compliment or not, so I just commented back and said, "I said this is life in stride, man." So
it.
You don't have to watch.
But thank you for the comment. It helps
Yeah,
our
thanks for the
algorithm.
engagement, bro.
yeah, we like the engagement. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Next
Uh,
time, longer comment though.
Yeah,
all right. So yeah, for the algo. So Scotty, you want to talk about the shakeout?
Sure, man. Shakeout was awesome. It's one of my insecurities is hosting an event and not knowing who's going to show up. Like I kept putting polls on Instagram and I stopped putting polls towards the end because I was like, everybody's just voting on the same thing. And like, I
Yeah.
just, if they show up, they're going to show up.
Well, let's even go. You mind if I add a little color to this
Go
about
for
the
it. Yeah.
why it's like kind of risky in some way, or we feel like it is? So at Chicago, we partnered with Nico Felice, Clark Morin, Eric Floberg,
Joe
and
Greer.
BPN, Joe
Yeah.
Greer, and all these people put this blast out of, and this is Chicago 2024, of, hey, we're doing this shakeout run, like meet this place in Grant Park. And we had probably 200 people show up to this shakeout run. And we're like, oh, like people show up for the Life and Stride shakeout run, which is like really kind of silly of us. We tried to put, and it was really like a more of a group effort, is what I'm saying.
for
Yeah.
sure.
And then we tried to do the same thing for Boston this spring. And the thing about Boston and these majors is like, okay, I think people are noticing that shakeout runs get a lot of people and they're becoming more of a thing. So Bandit has one, Adidas has one. Like all these brands have their own shakeout runs. Like the BAA probably has one. So now we have kind of split interests of, we're not going to be able to get Joe, Floberg, Nico, like all these people into one now. They kind of have their own obligations they have to do. And so everybody else is kind of doing the same thing. So
Yeah.
we basically went from having like 200, 250 people our first shakeout to having, I don't know, 60 on the second one when we
I think
were
it was like
expecting
40.
or like 40. So, which is still a great turnout. I mean, it was an awesome turnout and we had a great time. But it was like, okay, like now what is this going to look like in other, as we do this going forward? So
It's intimidating.
yeah,
For sure. But Swiftwick, we gave them a ballpark number and they brought 75 to 100 socks. I think it was probably closer to 100 because everybody had one. There was a couple left. Some people had two. But I think I counted in the picture. I lost count towards the top, but it was like 90 people showed up. And then there were some people like in the back of the picture that weren't in it. But that's a total win. I was shocked, honestly, blown away that
Dude,
that many people showed up.
it was a great route too. Who planned that? That guy's must be super handsome.
Dude,
it's
it was a great route. It was a loop route. It wasn't even an out and back. It was a loop route, and it was a perfect 5K. Very impressed,
It
Rigo.
was nice, dude. We were along the river. The trees were, showing the fall colors and stuff. There's a cool rock wall on the back half. I mean, perfect 5K. Life and Stride athlete. Shout out to Terry. She ran a 5K PR at the shakeout. Love that. Did you
Yes.
know that, Danny?
no,
Yes, Terry Brown,
Terry Brown
the
ran a
girl that
5K
goes,
PR
it's Richard Brown's wife. She ran a 5K PR.
at the shakeout.
that's
I did not know
amazing.
that, but Striegel told me that this morning because it like populated on his thing.
Yeah, dude. So cool.
Love
So
that.
cool. Are you a runner? Do you need running shoes, gear, apparel, more? If so, I got the scoop for you. Kencom's Running Store is the best place to buy any running supplies you need. Located in the St. Matthews area of Louisville, Kentucky, the friendly staff will take excellent care of you. If you are a newer runner and need help finding the right shoes, or you're looking to get plugged into the Louisville running community, this is where you need to start. If you don't live in Louisville, check out werunlou.com. We have a discount code and the link to the website in the show notes, and the shipping is free for purchases over $100. I promise you, Matt and team are the friendliest people you can meet. Don't hesitate. Get your running supplies at Kencom's Running Store and support an amazing local business. Yeah,
Wrap.
that was like the unheard story of the shakeout, dude.
Yeah,
Oh,
time though. Shakeout was a huge success.
Huge success. Yeah.
yeah. We had how many people? Like 60, 70 people there.
No, I said I counted. It was 90
You counted 90?
in the picture. Count the picture. And there was,
Oh,
well, it was like 85 in the picture, but I lost count at the top, and I stopped counting at like 80.
I was gonna say
So
we're like
I know
Alex.
there's 85 in the picture, but then there was people behind.
Yeah,
yeah.
not everyone was in the picture. Yeah.
So
Dude,
we had 90 people show up to the
yeah,
Life and Stride Shakeout run
Yeah.
yeah,
in Indy. Okay. I'd call that a success.
for sure.
I'd call it
Yeah.
I'd call it a cult movement.
Okay.
Cult movement. That's right.
Yeah.
Cult leaders.
Uh,
Anyways,
yeah, dude. Well, do you wanna hit on dinner real quick or no?
yeah, dude. Well, like I just want to say at the end of the run, people, did strides together and they were talking
Yep.
about race plans. And I gathered my athletes and got my message to them was everyone here is capable of running the goal that we have set. Everyone has a plan and they know what they're going to go out at. They know what the split they're going to go through half at. They know what they should do if certain situations arise. And I was like, even if you don't hit your goal, like we know you're capable, but the bigger picture is that we're here to celebrate being together. We're here to celebrate each other. And so the way that we respond if that happens is we still join for dinner or after or lunch after, and we celebrate other people's success and we take our lessons from this and we learn going forward. So that was kind of my message going in, which now that I'm replaying that back to myself is like, I'm glad I said it out loud because I kind of needed that said to myself with how the race turned out for me. So
Yeah.
fast forward, dinner that night, we could talk about dinner.
Yeah, dude. So I was late to dinner. No surprise.
No surprise.
I had to run
Do you
back.
know how late you were by minutes? Just curious.
It was way later than that. I was like 30 at least.
You were 52 minutes late, but who's counting?
Well, dude, okay, so the text in the Discord said that you can arrive anytime between 5:30 and 7:30. So I was being lackadaisical, bro. I was chilling, but then I had to run to the expo again real quick and then go back over to dinner. Uh, but yeah, it was cool. Like the waiter like brought us some fresh pasta, fresh
Striegel, with all
salad.
due respect, you have no concept of time. Like, if there's something like on the schedule for that night, you're just like,
Two things are true. Striegel is right in saying that the message did
He is
say
right.
come and go as you please between 5:30 and 7:30. It's also true that I called him at 5:45 and I said, Strieg, where are you? He said, I'm going to be there in 15 minutes. And then
Yeah.
didn't show up
Yeah.
for another half hour.
I was gonna say, yeah, we were having a little thing where like some people that weren't on the original list asked if they could come, and I was like, yeah, like you can come. And like I thought it was gonna be totally cool. And then like it almost became like, oh man, I don't know if this is gonna work out. But then it worked out great. So I was a little stressed there. So we were good though.
So they just, okay, never mind. All right. Anyways, dinner.
No, yeah, yes, we were good. No, they paid and everything, but yeah, so it was yeah, so it was good. But yeah, so I was like D Roney, like right, D Roney like came with me and he was like I was like, yeah, you can come to dinner, but he like wasn't on the original list. And then I was like I don't know how this is gonna work out. But then it worked out. So we're good. Guys,
Worked
Striegel, yes, man.
they couldn't
Striegel
even
never tell somebody no to their face.
dude, they couldn't even see him. He was in camo. It didn't even matter. He had camo pants on.
He had camo pants, white cotton socks, and Birkenstocks on.
Yeah, he
Very
put a camo hat on and he was like, do you think this is too much camo to go to Buca de Beppo? And I was like, I mean, like, probably. Like, so yeah, he changed hats.
Dude, what a question.
Dude, I got to sit, despite being late, I got to sit next to the man, the myth, Dan Perkins, owner of Mason Construction. And I think we had a great business conversation, about the podcast. And I'm just joking. We didn't talk business. We just chopped it up because we're good friends. But no, dude, it was an honor to sit next to Dan Perkins at dinner, man. I was stoked that was my seat that was reserved for me. So,
Yeah, dude,
Striegel,
we
you
saved
are
that for
one of
you.
one, brother.
yeah, dude, this was my table. Listen to this: Ryan Sosnowski, Miss Sosnowski, Dan Perkins, Lisa Perkins, Danny Perkins, Ashley Ranapedia, me.
And kind of D-Rony. He was kind of
He
there.
floating. He was floater.
He was hovering. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
the A team.
but yeah, I was like, I mean, for being 52 minutes late to dinner, this is a pretty good table. So,
I had to ward off people not to sit in your seats
yeah, I bet you
because
did.
I wanted to sit with you. That's how much I love you.
Thanks, man.
I
And
was literally out there offending people at dinner, saying you can't sit with us.
I did the same thing at the after party at Yard House for Alex and her mother-in-law. I had to tell like 40 people no to their seats.
Well, I think that's fair that you're saving it for your wife and your mother-in-law.
Yeah.
It's totally reasonable.
dude, last thing on pre-race dinner, they had some amazing cookies at Buca de Beppo. Not bad.
High key jealous.
Not bad.
They were huge.
Yeah, I devoured one, bro.
One
Shout
bite.
out Mike Dwyer for setting that up. Shout
Yeah,
out.
thank you, Mike. No last names. Thank you, Mike. From
Beat that streak.
All right. So we get back to the hotel. I think I beat Floberg back, and by the time I don't remember if I saw Floberg before or after dinner. Anyways, Floberg shows up to my room, and we're just chilling. He's showing me footage from the New York Marathon. This is the night before the race, and he's telling me stories about it and how he fist bumped Casey Neistat. And
No way.
yeah, like during the race. That was my reaction too, Strig. He's like, yeah, Casey's a big reason I'm a runner in the first place. I was like, whoa, that is.
I know a lot of people that don't know who Casey Neistat is, and I'm just like, dude, like he's like the OG YouTube blogger. Like you gotta check out his page. He's so creative, and like even if you're not into like artsy stuff, it's just like it's so good. He's so funny.
Yeah, he's a super interesting dude.
Very unique. Yeah, love it.
So I was like, Flo, you should do a Casey Neistat style video about like fist bumping Casey Neistat, where he like has pieces of paper and like holds up signs. Anyways, so yeah, if that comes out, that was my idea. You heard it here first.
Yeah, you get a percent of the YouTube revenue.
Yeah. Thank you, Eric. So we just hung out. We had a good night. I was just kind of like up reading my book. I'm a big reader these days. If you're in the Life and Stride Discord, you know, Red Rising series, almost done. I'm on book number 6 of 7, and had a chill night besides that. So the plan for race morning was we were going to get up, meet in the hotel lobby for group team picture and prayer before the race, and then go out, do a little warm up and mosey on over. The good thing about the hotel that I stayed at is it was literally a stone's throw away from the start line.
Yep.
So it was like a perfect central location meeting spot. Like there's a bathroom there in the lobby. They had lobby coffee, bananas, waters. And so we were just like, you know what? Everyone just come over here. Like you don't have to wait outside in line for a porta potty. You could just go around the corner. By the way, we're divulging all of our secrets on this, and this is going to come back to bite us next year. So maybe we'll just have to cut off.
What Eric did. Eric did that with Hidden Gem and it filled up.
Yeah. We might just have to bleep this whole section out.
Indy sucks. And so does the Marriott. Don't go to that lobby.
Yeah, I would say it was great. I mean, it was awesome, the turnout of people who showed up at pre-race. When you're trying to lock in for a race though, and it's an A race and you have a lot of things grabbing at your attention, like logistics and just like trying to be on time for stuff, it can be kind of throw you off your game a little bit. So it was good that like we had people like Street there and Scotty there who weren't necessarily like running an A race to take kind of things off the plate. So thank you guys for that.
For sure.
Yeah, the vibes were high at the Marriott. Saw, all your Louisville friends there, Corfedge, all the Life and Stride people, It was just like, man, I wish we could just sit in here forever and just talk for a really long time, but we got to go do this thing. So then we went and did the thing. Dude, what was funny, Danny, is like when we left the Marriott, I lost you like 3 times. And then you guys were in the corral and I was like super late to the corral. And like I found you guys at the last second, dude. I feel like not the last second, but like
what were you doing in the 30 minutes before to be late?
Dude, I kept finding people to talk to. Like I saw like man, the myth, the legend, CEO Brad Pierce, and I was like talking to him like final race plan and stuff. And then Yeah, I don't know. I saw Eric too, talked to him for a sec, and then turned around, Danny's gone. And
Yeah.
yeah, but then Ashley called me. She was like, "Danny's looking for you. I think you went in to the corral around here." And I saw you guys on the far side. Thank God Danny's 6'9", so it made it pretty easy to find him.
I had Ryan's phone out. I was calling my mom to get your number from her
Yeah.
because I only remember my mom's number. Ryan doesn't have your number. So I was trying to get Streaks. I was calling my mom ready to do this thing so I could call Streak. And I hear, "Hey, Danny." And I look up and Streak's there. And I'm
Oh
like,
my
okay,
gosh.
well, I mean, it was a solid 5 minutes before the gun went off. So I feel like there was ample time, especially in Streak time. But
Yeah.
I was going to talk about how it's a pack of like 6 of us who are all planning to be paced by Strieg, and Strieg's not there. So
Dude, I was like worried. I was like thinking, I was like, man, if I don't find them, like, and I just can't find them during the race, like, that just kind of like kills my purpose of like starting the race. Like, what I was like, what do I do? Like in that situation, like,
I was thinking the
I'm
same
panicking.
thing, but I was like, you know what? This is just how it is right now, and I'm gonna run my pace either way. So Strieg or not,
Yeah,
like
but nah,
Legitimately, the Triple Crown Series in Louisville, Kentucky in March, I saw Striegel be 30 seconds early for all three. I mean, national anthem was already sung. They were like counting down, and then Striegel like jumps in a corral at the very finish, and he gets second in all three of them. He didn't have his bib until 4 minutes before
oh,
on that 10 miler.
it wasn't that dire this time, but yeah, Strieg, that's definitely one of our buddies' quirks here.
dude, why you got to bring up me getting second place at the Triple Crown in all three races, bro?
I
Just when
thought
I
that was
forgot
pretty
about
good.
that.
I'll sleep the leg. Gosh, there's a crazy story about that, but I don't think we can tell it on the podcast.
No, we probably shouldn't. One last thing. Well, I don't know. Well, this is kind of gross, but I'm just gonna say it. Um, I'm glad I had black half tights on in the corral. That's all I'll say.
Dude, you told me that. I wasn't sure I heard you right when we
Did you
started out
poop
the race.
yourself?
No, no, no. I just like I needed to like. I mean, I don't know if I should tell this. But I ask her it. Like, I mean, sometimes Indy is not a race. Like Chicago is a race where you can like kneel down in the corral and like kind of rip out a last number one, and like nobody cares. But Indy's like I don't think it's one of those races. I don't know why. Like Chicago's a little different, but I guess it's just because the major and the bathroom situation is a little more dire. But yeah, I mean, I mean, it's not like I had a full bladder or anything, but you got to do like at the start of a marathon, you got to do what you got to do. Like I don't care what anyone thinks. Like I'm just being real with people listening. Like you got to do what you got to do. So I did what I had to do. It wasn't like a crazy thing. It was like very, very little, but yeah, man, I'm just being honest. That did happen. You know,
That's pretty crazy. I don't know what I would do in that situation if I would hold it or just
dude,
go through the whole thing.
I had to pee from 6 to the end, like pretty bad, but I was like, I'm not stopping. So
I am glad that, well, you probably could have pulled off and done it and caught back up. I don't think you would have had any problem fitness wise doing that.
yeah, I did drop a 238, 800, and like mile 17 or 18 catch and chase plan, but that wasn't that fun. That wasn't that fun.
I yeah, dude, that's fast. I was gonna say I'm glad that I didn't give you any of my gels to carry in your half tights, or else that would have been tainted, bro.
That
No,
could have
that
been
was good. That was
dangerous.
good.
I
Nah,
bought carbs fuel today too.
did you really?
Did I stutter?
Nice, dude. I I got home to a delivery of 40 of them from the race, so I'm ready.
Let's
Did you
go.
buy those?
Yeah.
Oh,
Dude, I all right. So let's talk about the race. So we took it out. Everyone's feeling good. It was I don't remember Indy ever being so packed, but I felt like it was packed in the first 10K.
It was. Yeah. There's a lot of half marathoners.
Like we were going at a solid clip, below 6:05 pace through average through the first half.
Everyone's watches
And
were kind of all over the place in our group, it seemed like, too.
yeah, mine were reading some six flats and they were really like 6:03. So
Yeah.
by mile 3 or 4, I felt like 50 to 100 meters behind the mile marker. And it just kind of stayed there consistently. So whenever my watch would ding, I would look up and about 100 meters away would be the marker. So I'm like, okay, like it's still consistent, you know.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I was gonna say there was a part early in the race. I got a video on my Strava where this like minivan like was pulling out of a parking space and like reversed like next to us. It was like driving in reverse right next to us on the course for like a good 200 meters.
Yeah.
Then it turned off.
That made me laugh.
That was pretty funny. That was pretty funny.
It was funny. I was like, someone should jump on the hood of that and just like get a free,
Free ride.
like a free 200 meters of the race.
Dude, that was impressive backup skills, like with the pace of the runners.
Yeah.
I'd
Honda
also
Odyssey,
be an
bro.
F1 driver. Easy.
But we had a huge pack, dude.
Huge pack.
It was big. I would say 10. I have videos of it. It was probably 10,
Yeah,
maybe 12.
maybe bigger than that at points, but
No, like in the first, when all the half people, so the half and the full split off about mile 7, a little after 7, and up to that point, it was a huge blob of people,
Interesting.
all behind. Like Streak is always in the first or second row, and everyone's just like on Streak's heels. Yeah, dude, Streak showing it on the screen right now. It was a massive pack of people running like damn near 6 flat pace, and I couldn't believe it was a bigger pack than my first sub 3 attempt where everyone's sticking on that 3-hour pacer. Like it was, you're getting elbows. I mean, no one's doing it intentionally. There were multiple heels clipped.
yeah,
And the pack was like pushing a little bit, especially through half. We went through half 10 seconds hot at in 1920. We want to go through 1920.
Yeah, I was Instagram live at halfway.
You were Instagram living halfway. I look down and I see like me and Streak selfie cam on Instagram Live, and Streak's asking me how I'm feeling and stuff. And I thought that was actually a pretty cool idea. Did anyone like show up to that? Did we get anyone watching?
There's like 20 plus. There's a lot of comments. Yeah, there's like, I think it peaked at like 20. I only did it for a few minutes, but
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
cool.
Striegel was texting me, calling me during the race.
Dude, well, there was one point, Danny, do you remember when I knocked over that cone like right before halfway?
Yeah, there were 2 cones in the middle of the road. Like, I don't know how they got there, but they were like in the middle of the running path that we hit. There was someone hit it before you, Streak, and then you hit the second one and almost like knocked that poor girl over that was running with us.
Yeah, she was kind of mad about that, but I was like, I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't see it. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, she was a good sport about it. Like, I feel like she played it off like pretty well. It was
Oh,
just
she
like,
did. Okay.
when you're, I mean, when you're running goal pace for a marathon, you're halfway and you almost fall because of a cone. Like,
Yeah.
like you're gonna be peeved for sure. But I thought she was a pretty good sport about it after.
Okay, cool. I didn't really pick up what she said. I just remember the tone, but maybe she was being cool. I don't
Oh yeah, the tone was absolutely like, I'm glad I didn't die.
Yeah, that's kind of what she said. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it could have been worse. I mean, hearing Eric Stouderman's story, but I digress.
I mean, we can tell Stotterman's story, just like the PG version of it, though. Or no?
We need to talk about that as a group before we divulge on the podcast.
Well, yeah, I mean, okay, all right, we'll put a pin in that for now. So, Streak, like, what's your story of the first half of the race?
Vibes were high for sure. We had a lot of people giving Life in Stride shout outs, which was cool.
Yeah,
like in our group, on the sidelines too. That was really cool. Yeah, vibes were high. I mean, we had a lot of friends in the pack. Danny had some St. Louis friends in there. Shout out Harold. And so yeah, vibes were high. I think like the story of the first half though was there was probably too many 602s when there should have been like 605, 606s probably. And I think
agree.
Yeah, I tried to like not be in the front of the pack at a lot of points and just like, but I don't know. I should have like probably made a conscious decision like, hey, like we're gonna make our own group and just run 605s the first half. But we like probably went through half like 20 or 30 seconds hot. And it was kind of hard to tell how fast we were going until 10 because everyone's watches were kind of off and on. Yeah, we got through 10 at like 60-40 ish, so like 604 average. And
yeah,
I think like maybe just like a little hot through halfway, and then there was like a couple moments where there was like some slight inclines and like declines, and we were like, I felt like pushing a little too hard on the inclines, then like using the declines like a little too much, like we had like a 557 in there I think at one point, and on like a decline, but I was like, man, like this might be a little too aggressive. So, yeah, I think like I was a little nervous going through half for sure, like that we were going a little too fast. So, you just had an amazing training block and you're walking to the start line of your PR attempt race. What are the key items you need to have on you for race day? For me, I cannot start a race without my white mid-crew Swiftwick socks, and I'm going to give you 2 reasons why. Number one, my race day fit is not complete without them. I love the look of these socks, and I think if you look good, you feel good, and you race good. Number two, I trust the performance of these socks. They have compression technology that is going to guarantee my feet are feeling good in my super shoes, and they are also made of moisture wicking fibers that are going to prevent blisters from happening, especially when I'm going the marathon distance. The last thing that you want to be worrying about on race day is a bad blister developing and ruining your race. If you're constantly having race day issues with this, it's not the shoes, it's your socks. Try Swiftwick socks today. The link to their website and our discount code is in the show notes. Yeah.
Yeah. And some of that was my fault too. Like I remember that specific decline you're talking about the first half, and I was like, all right, like let's just bank some time on this, which was, I think that banking time in a marathon is a fool's errand. No matter how many I run, like sometimes I just forget that lesson and need to relearn it. And this was a good example of that. I think that, yeah, once we went through halfway, we were on 6:04 pace. I was probably expecting to see 6:05 average, and it would have been fine if we were even 6:06 or 7 average for that. I think that would have set me up nicely for a strong back half. But yeah, agree with everything you said. You said something interesting. The pack was angsty. And I think that was a perfect word to describe it, because
Yeah.
everyone was chomping at the bit. There was a lot of high energy, but there was also a lot of, like, you could tell competitive vibes going on. And so
Yeah.
people pushing pace, and I was part of it. I definitely contributed to that for sure, because I would push pace at certain parts. I think that next time, like, and maybe it's because I kind of go through this cycle of having a really strong race and executing a really smartly run race, and then
Being
thinking to
confident.
myself, yeah, being going in overconfident and like thinking that I can like really punish the first half and have a good second half.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that I think I need to relearn. So kind of foreshadowing what happened on the second half. Like
Preach, Danny.
yeah, dude. Scotty and I, we realized we had like the same race
Yeah.
that he had in Chicago. I will say though, Scotty, like, had you had the conditions we had in Indianapolis, you would have like probably held on there. Whereas like I'm not sure that I would have been that level. So credit to you and your training is
I
getting
appreciate
out
that,
there.
but the result is the result. We both
There was
finished like about 10 seconds apart from each other. 20
yeah,
seconds.
yeah.
With very similar actually, it's crazy how many similarities there were to your race and my race, because I finished with Paige and that was like the highlight of my race, and then you got to finish with Alex and that was like the highlight of her race.
Mhm.
She was like, I could not have done that without Danny.
Yeah.
And that was cool.
And I want to talk about that too. But let's just go through the rest of the race first.
Yeah.
And all right, so
Foreshadowing.
we go through. We see you guys again. I forget if you were at 16 or 17. Something fell off though. Like something changed for me at the halfway point, maybe around mile 14, where I was like, "Ooh, I'm not feeling good anymore." And it happened right after I took like my 4th gel. And now that I'm kind of replaying this in my mind, I think that what worked for me at Bayshore was alternating gels that would have a carbs and then assist beta fuel and alternate those. And then this
Yeah.
time I just kind of went all carbs. I think another thing in retrospect was when I got stomach issues at mile 17 was that when I was training in the final weeks, I wasn't fueling as much for whatever reason. Maybe it's because like I didn't have gels available, or like I didn't feel like I needed to on my longs. But I think something that I really want to experiment with going forward is like at goal pace or at faster paces, trying to like get fuel down and feel how it feels and get used to it. You know what I mean?
It's tough,
Because
dude.
there were a lot of times during training I would not choose to not take a gel if like I wasn't feeling it, and I just need to be regimented at that. So that's kind of a learning.
Yeah,
Or you
that's what
saying,
I
Streak?
I was just saying I agree. It's tough, but I think like a lot of people too, like they'll take it during like their float mile or like their easy mile in between like marathon pace reps on workouts and stuff, and it's like now you got to do it like while you're on the fast reps because
Yeah.
It's hard, but like especially those bigger, like if you're taking a 40 gram or 50-gram gel and they're a little bigger, you got to take them like over like a 3 minute span. Like you can't just get the whole thing down at once. Like I always tell people that, like, I love carbs fuel, but it's like I always tell people if you're gonna take carbs fuel, like take it over like 3 to 5 minutes. Like just take little bits at a time, because like if you put it all down at once, like that's a lot of grams of carbs going into your stomach all at one moment. So yeah, you gotta just kind of space them out a little bit.
Yeah. I spaced them out probably over a minute, but I probably should do it over 3.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's not too bad.
I looked it up. A cup of rice, like picture a cup, a measuring cup, that packed with rice is 45 grams of carbs. A carbs fuel is 50, and it's less overall volume in a gel. Like you're getting a ton
Oh
of
yeah,
rice.
dude.
Uh,
I was going back through my text. So at 9:38 a.m. yesterday, I texted Scotty and I said, DP needs some major gas right now. Starting to grind. He's good though. So like an hour 38 into the race. So you're still with us, but I could tell like
yeah,
you're kind of like peeling off, like, or like you're like hovering towards the back of the pack, which you hadn't been doing earlier on. So then
yeah.
I kept looking back, like making sure you were still there. But yeah, I had a bad feeling like you were starting to grind a little bit.
I was grinding for sure from like 14 to 17 and just trying to stick it out one more mile. But I was also just trying to relax and try and get my heart rate down. I looked at my heart rate. I think it was probably an average of like 3 beats per minute higher than it was at Bayshore throughout the whole race. So I think that, like, yeah, like I just took the first half out too hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was great seeing you guys there. I will say, like you and Floberg, like between the two of you and like the encouragement styles, Floberg was like more like on my ass, like stick with it, grind, like get after it. And Scotty was like, you're doing good, man. Like you're doing good. I can tell you of those two messages that you want to hear when you're in the pain cave, it's probably Scotty's. It's probably
Yeah.
it's probably like it's gonna be okay versus like try harder because I'm like, believe me, bro, I am doing my best to stick to this pack right
When
now.
you're in the pain cave, there's not much else you can do.
Yeah. And I'll say that kind of like there are different types of things that can bring you there in kind of a rough spot in the race. And for me, this really hasn't happened a ton, but it was stomach. So once you get that stomach issue and you try to pull back a little bit, it's kind of hard to undo the stomach. So I gave myself a little bit time to like have a pretty slow mile and then get back into it at mile 19 or so. And then after that, I don't know, man. I just kind of I let up and I was like I pulled over again to vomit. Nothing came out. It was a dry heave, and that was tough. And I think my stomach settled down with about 3 or 4 miles to go. So in retrospect, I probably should have kept pushing then to get a couple more minutes off my time. But I was kind of in this cruise mode of like, all right, let's wrap it up. Live to fight another day, and hopefully can recover a little easier, get back to training sooner. Until I saw Alex. So Streak, if you want to tell your story from when you guys pulled off and getting to the end, I think you and Chase is a story worth telling.
Oh, yeah. Essentially, you called me or you like yelled at me, and then I could tell you like 5 steps back. So I hung with you for a bit, and then yeah, you're like you can go on with Chase if you want. So I hung with you for a bit, and then Harold caught up with you, and yeah, then at that point I saw Chase was still rolling with the pack, but it was kind of like splintering. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna make a push up the Chase, caught him, and then I checked in with him at that point. This is Chase Bland, who we coach, and his PR was 2:42 entering this race, and he was rolling like 6:01, six flats, and we were feeling good, aerobically. He said he was strong. I couldn't even hear him breathing, so like labor wise, he was doing good,
Yeah.
but once we got to that like 19, like 2021, where like the road's really dumpy, he said like his hammy started tweaking a little bit, and I think it might have been it could have been from a number of things, but the uneven road I think doesn't help that for sure. And anyway, so we were rolling good, and he said his hammy was tweaking, so I was like, all right, let's run a couple like 6:15s, like give the hammy a little break, like slow down 10 seconds mile. I was like, we have like a ton of time banked, run 2:38:30 pace right now, so like we have a minute and a half to play with. Let's slow down a couple. miles and see if we can get that Hemi worked out, and then we can make a big push at the end, try to break 2:39. And so like we do that, and his Hemi's still like tweaking, and we're still on pace for sub 240 though. We get to 25, we're like riding the line. We've been rolling 615, 620, and his Hemi like just goes, like it just like it pulls, like just completely seizes on him, like one of those pulls that like you can't keep running in the moment, you have to stop, like if it like just pulls like that. So we like literally full stopped like 25 and a quarter or so, like a mile out, and for like 15 seconds, and I was just like, come on man, like you got it. And he's like, dude, it's completely seized. But we ended up like still breaking 7 the last mile, so he pulled it together, and he still got 2-minute PR, I think. We were in 240, so so yeah, he was stoked still for sure, but frustrated that the Hemi just went so late in the race. So that's always frustrating. But yeah, it was good. He like I could tell he was frustrated because like aerobically, I think a 238 was there, and then just like that Hemi just kept and his calf kept like pulsing, and it's just like you gotta be really careful with that, because like if it pulls like it did, you can it's better to like slow down, like have a couple slow miles, get it under control. But then like if you just like stay on pace, then you're risking it like full on just blowing, and then like you lose 5 minutes potentially. So it's like a really like fine line. But yeah, I could tell he was like really like fighting with the demons like that last like half mile to like, because I'm sure it was like extremely uncomfortable running through that Hemi thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, we were able to pull him through for a nice PR still. So yeah, he gutted it out for sure. But yeah, I know he wanted to sub 240, but he was in shape for sure to do it. It was just you know so it's really hard to replicate 25 miles at marathon pace in training, like that like that level of muscle
So true.
fatigue anyway. It's really hard to replicate that. So yeah, so you just don't know how your Hemi's calves are going to respond at mile 25 of a marathon. So but all good.
Yeah, I mean, those factors are what make the sport great. It's how are you going to respond in moments where things kind of go awry. And,
Yeah.
for me, it's when it was a gut issue, it's just like, all right, well, this is going to turn into like, let's, see how fast we could run on this day. And I think in the moment, like you just have to be realistic with yourself to kind of reset expectations and strive for a different goal. So
Yeah.
I think, Chase, I think that like training wise, we were in the positions that we needed to be to run our goals. I think that, at the end of the day, it's just executional stuff like practicing fuel that I fumbled on personally.
Yeah.
So, and it's funny, like as a coach, you stand your athletes to like fuel during your long runs and like figure out something that works for you. And then, there's something about like relearning these lessons for yourself that, maybe it's a me thing. That's,
It's not just a you thing.
that's funny.
Yeah.
So,
Dude, I mean, I tell my athletes like like training wise, I give them advice that like I completely do not follow myself. Like some of our new people that I'll call for the first time, they're just like, I just want to tell you like I'm not trying to run 100 miles a week. And I'm just like I do not train anyone. I coach maybe like Carney, like in Stotterman a little bit, like myself. Like I'm like kind of experimenting on myself, so I don't want to like project anything
yeah.
I'm doing onto you. Like I coach people different than I coach myself. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
For
Well,
what
I
it's
mean,
worth,
yeah,
I
go ahead.
do take a gel on every run.
Yeah, you do. He does.
Ask Striegel.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
I mean, if you're running 10 to 12 miles at a time, that's like essentially a long run. You should take something, in my opinion. I take a
You're
gel.
over an hour and a half. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so kind of jumping back into the story of my race, the last, what mile was it, Scotty? 24? It's 24.
When I passed you, you had 4K to go.
Could you
So
see
that's
downtown at that
So
point?
two,
You probably
it
and
was
a
like,
half.
it was like
Yeah.
23, late 23. Yeah. So
We
24.
were like very downtown on the last stretch.
okay. Yeah.
So mile 23, I saw Scotty and Ryan's wife, Cammie, and Kendi was there. Kendi, by the way, is probably like the best hype person
Dude,
ever.
she's so
She's
fun to
good.
cheer
She's
with.
good.
Dude, Kendi gets into it. So shout
She
out
was
Kendi.
freaking great. She knew exactly what to say. She was on it. She stuck with us the whole time.
Yeah.
I
Like
got a
Kendi knows
solid high
what to
five with her.
say.
Yeah.
Kenny can see your eyes and what's behind them in your brain, and just delivers the message that you need to hear in the moment. So shout out Kendi, world's greatest marathon supporter. All right, so yeah, I see that group, and I'm kind of hobbling. I'm
Yeah.
feeling sorry for myself, whatever. And I'm like, "Where's Alex? Like, how's Alex doing? How's Ryan doing? How did Soderman finish?" I'm just at this point checking on my people and seeing how they're doing, and everyone's doing great. Like, Stoddardman finished 2:34. Alex is on my tail. She's been running stride for stride with Ryan Saws like the whole race basically, and then Saws pulls back, or I think maybe Alex actually dropped him and
It
catches
was
me.
it was a little bit of both, but Saw's like had a little bit of I think he had a hammy issue.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very
So
minor.
so I'm asking like, "Where's Alex?" And Cammie's like, "Oh, they're actually right there," and like looks to her left as she's on the sidewalk, and like they're right behind me. And so I'm like, okay, like I look back, I can't even like see them. Your vision's blurry or whatever. You've been running for 25 miles, 23 miles, and all of a sudden I look back and I take a step back, and Alex is there just trucking towards me, and she looks good. And I'm like, all right, she's on a mission. We're in the last 2.5 miles. And I'm like, all right, Alex, I'm going to run with you for as long as I can. And let's finish this thing out. And she just kind of, I don't know, she even said words. She was like, and so we start going, and I look down at my watch after the first, 20 steps, and I'm like, oh, we're running 6:03 pace. Not sure how long I'm going to last doing this. And she said that I'm the one that surged, but I was just trying to keep up with her. So anyways, we were able to run it in for the last like 2.5 miles. Kendi gets a hold of us like a little further down the road again, and it's like, Alex, like, focus on your form, drive your legs. And I was like, dude, like that is the best thing to hear. Like, like, I'm like, Kendi does it again. So I'm like,
She actually she was with me. I was hauling to the finish because I knew exactly where I needed to be because I've done it before.
yeah,
I know where to cross the road because I've made that mistake before. And I dropped my scooter. I ended it, and then I crossed the road. But Kendi at like mile 25 was, or maybe a little after, she was like, "I'm gonna stop here because I feel like she's gonna need me here, and then you at the finish." And I was like,
yes.
"Great, great." I was like, "All right, you go there. I'll meet you at the finish." And
Yeah, so we saw Kendi with like a K to go or 800 to go.
yeah,
And
and then
yeah,
saw me with like 0.3 to go.
yeah. And around that time, I was like, oh, wait, like, I don't even know if Alex really wants me like around her or like someone talking to her. So I was like, Alex, you just say the word and I'll leave. Like, I'll get out of here. And she didn't say anything. I was like, okay, I guess that means like negative.
That's exactly my thoughts with Paige Voss, dude. I was like, I don't know if she wants me here.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, you get to a certain point, you're just like, oh, wait, like, is she actually enjoying this? Or, anyways. So, we hit the last couple turns, and on that final turn where you can see the finish line, I'm like, Alex, go. And she hits another gear, dude. I don't know where she found that thing, but she took off, and I couldn't have kept up with her if I tried at that point.
Yeah.
Like, it was fast twitch, fiber, anaerobic, just full on, dude. And I was like, dude, she is moving. She's going to mow someone down, like, if they get in the way. And I saw her run through the finish line, and I was just like, damn, like, that was a super cool moment. Like, that just made my whole race. I'm so glad I got to share that with Alex. That was awesome.
Cool. I got the whole thing on film.
Yeah. And that's what we were talking about, dude. Yeah. So check that out on the Instagram. We'll put it up on the YouTube too. But Alex and I running stride for stride in the last couple miles was core memory for sure.
Dude, that YouTube video is going to be very good. Lots of good footage. Lots of good footage.
For sure.
Dude, so
I have to
Danny,
go.
See you, Scott.
Danny, what would you have done differently on race day?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So lessons learned. I mean, I think just generally I took it out a little too hot. I think that if I could have, and I even talked with you about this and said I was going to do this, but I didn't. I should have just raced Bayshore again. And what did I do at Bayshore? I took out the first 2 miles at like 6:15 to 6:10 pace, and then settled in at like 6:10 to 6:08 for the first half, and went through at 120 low. So I think that had I done that again, I would have been positioned for a PR and breaking 240. Um, Another thing is like fuel. Like I would have, if I had time to go back on my training block, adjusted how I was fueling
Yeah.
to not be fueling during the float miles, be fueling during the hard miles, because it does make a difference. Besides that, man, like, I think everything leading up race week, I think like in terms of my like stress management of just like kind of obligations throughout the weekend and travel and whatever, I think
Yeah.
I have reached a new level with that of just like being even keeled in the nights before the race. So I think that's something I did well. But yeah, I mean, I think I just would have taken it out slower and maybe fueled like a little less aggressively,
Mm.
knowing how I trained. So, because I didn't take any fuel after 17, and like there was really no like instance after 17 where I felt like I was depleted enough to like really need to take another one. So
Yeah, yeah. They're good takeaways, great takeaways.
yeah,
Yeah, I think you got a big one coming for you at the next one. No doubt about it.
yeah, that's kind of my pattern, dude, of hang up
Scotty's
a
on
big one and then hang up a stinker. So hopefully I'm due.
Scotty's on notice, bro.
Yeah, we went through half, and I was like, maybe I'll get Scotty on this, but it didn't end up happening.
I think I said that out loud. I was like, Scotty's on notice at halfway. So,
Yeah,
yeah, dude, that was fun. No, that was a lot of fun. I'm super glad I paced, and yeah, that was
yeah,
like, because like I don't know, it was fun. Like I didn't even like think about running a marathon like until like the morning of. Like I wasn't even like really thinking about it all week. I was just training normally, and like I was pretty like stress free. And then like I don't know, once we got the start line, I was like, man, like we really doing this. We like running a full marathon today, so it was like pretty stress free. And then the race was like, yeah, felt great. So it was just yeah, I had a ton of fun with it. I think seeing everyone this weekend too is just it was like I don't know, can't really ask for a better weekend. Like marathon weekend, and all our friends are there, all the teams there. I don't know. I just like you just come home from like weekends like that, and it's just like feeling really grateful for everything, So
for
just
sure. There was a moment after the race where Mike came down and sat next to me, and he was like, "Dude, your parents are awesome." My parents went up there to Indianapolis, and they're always at any race that they can make it to. They're supporting, and he's like, yeah, like they saw me at mile such and such when I needed a boost, and they were so encouraging. And he
yeah,
said, even last year at the Carmel Marathon, your dad ran with me for like a half mile. And I was like, wow, that's really cool that, my friend sits next to me, makes a point to say that, because I mean, that right there just like brought a lot of emotion to me. I was like, you know, results be damned, that is the coolest takeaway from the weekend, is like this like intersection of family and friends and community, and all of us striving to like be better at something that's a physical challenge yet has so much like meaning associated with it in terms of like how it you know what you can pour into it out of yourself. So I
yeah,
think that yeah, dude, there were just a lot of moments like that that just give me immense amount of gratitude for the sport and the community.
yeah, yeah, dude. I mean, yeah, I know your mom will listen to this for sure, but yeah, just like I don't know, it is cool. Like every single race you run, your parents are, or at least every marathon, your parents are like are there 100%, and
Yeah,
that's like I don't know anyone else's parents that do that. So it's just like the dedication and just like they're like obviously they're like mainly there for you, but like they're there for everybody too, though. So
yeah,
like they're yeah, my favorite people to see on course. Always make a point to just get to know everyone. Yeah, it's just that's a pretty special thing for sure that they're at every marathon you do. So yeah, very
yeah.
cool. And I think everyone loves talking to them. So yeah, great stuff out of the
Thanks, bro.
Perkins family. Oh yeah,
Appreciate you saying that. Yeah, so I've run a marathon with Scotty and Striegel in the same year. I ran Boston with Scotty, and then Striegel paced me on this one. So that is legit, man. I am like, yeah, racking up the memories of people who I loved running with. So yeah, man. Thanks for everything, Strig. You've been an awesome coach through this block and everything too, man. Couldn't have
dude.
done it without you.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I think we worked well together. So hopefully we can pull out a good one next time. And I think I'm gonna throw Scotty some workouts for Houston. We'll see how that goes. So should be interesting.
Well, you ran a marathon, a 241 marathon in the middle of a 132-mile week. So how's that feeling on your legs right about now?
Dude, I don't feel that bad. Like my quads are a little sore, but I ran 5 pretty chill today and like loosened up pretty good by 2. Like I'm still gonna get after this week. I probably won't do 130 again. I'll probably do like 120 something. But no, I was like, dude, going into Houston, like that was a huge confidence boost. I was like, if this feels like really hard, like I don't know how Houston's gonna go, but I mean, my heart rate was like steady effort the whole way. So that was great. That was like super promising. Felt like controlled the whole way. So I think I'm probably not in like PR shape right now, but I'm feeling like I'm getting like pretty close. So and we still got a couple months to work with. So yeah, that was a huge confidence boost for me for sure. So good takeaway.
So you're knocking back on the door of 222 shape, you think, like soon?
Yeah, maybe in like 4 weeks, like I'll probably be in that shape, and then hopefully like the next 4 weeks I can kind of surpass that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think like just this was only like my third 100-mile week like back, so which is like crazy that I like did my highest mileage week ever this week,
Hmm.
but I'm feeling good. Like I think if I just do like 6, 7 more huge weeks, like I can probably get into like around 220 fighting shape. So we'll see.
Yeah. It takes about 6, 7 weeks.
Yeah, yeah, 6 weeks.
7.
Yeah, like yeah, 7 weeks, 840 miles. Get fit plan. Yeah,
That's right. 840 miles. Let's go.
gonna go through a couple pairs of shoes. Yeah, be good. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. Houston's definitely gonna be like a just like go through halfway like really aggressively and see what happens. Race for sure. Like
Yeah.
I'm willing.
Well,
I'm
hopefully it
willing to
works out
go.
better for you than me.
I think like sometimes you got to race marathons like that.
Yeah.
So like you can't do everyone like safe. You gotta. I think like in order to get to that next like jump in fitness, like you gotta like I don't know. You gotta start taking risks in races because like
Mm-hmm.
I mean like every time you like drop a new PR, like it is scary running that pace. So it's like you gotta take risks. You gotta do scary things in races to keep getting faster. So
Yeah.
yeah, I agree.
Totally agree. I mean, every PR I've run didn't
Yeah.
know I could do that pace until I did. So,
Dude, yeah, I mean that's same. I mean, we all felt that at Bayshore. So
yep.
sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. That's fine. I've had plenty of blowups. I've had plenty of good races. So
Yeah.
whatever. But all right, anything else, man?
Yeah, dude. Just thinking about where to go from here. I think I'm going to do a little bit of shorter distance stuff for the time being until I find a race that I really want to target as a full. I mean, we're doing Boston this spring. We're kind of talking about what we have cooking up. You guys are doing Houston. Wish I could be there. It was sold out by the time I pulled up the website too late. So, yeah, man, I just optimistic about the future and love everything that's come from the sport. So don't plan on stopping anytime soon.
No, dude, yeah. I used to kind of wrap here. I had one of the guys we coach, Richard Brown. He's like a successful business owner in Louisiana. And we were just like chatting with everyone at the expo, and he comes up to me and he's just like, dude, look what you guys like, created here.
Yeah.
Like, and it's only been a short amount of time. He's like, this is just like the tip of the iceberg. And like, I don't know. People tell us that, like hearing it from people like that are really successful like him and like are clearly very smart businessmen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I don't know. Like hearing that from people that like we respect a lot is just like that's cool, for sure. I was
Yeah.
telling Scotty that like it's just like because I know like he's not just saying that like he really thinks that. So yeah, it's cool and just like seeing I made like a reel which is like I guess kind of goofy, but on after the shakeout and it was just like
Yeah.
from episode 1 to like having a shakeout with 90 people at the Indy Marathon, like, I don't know. It's just crazy, bro. Like when we hit record, we never expected anything like that to happen. So, pretty, like for the first time. So pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. So, but all right, man. Anything else before we send it?
Love you, mean it. Thanks for
You
everything,
mean
dude.
it? Oh,
Talk to you tomorrow.
yeah. 202. Yeah. Yeah. We got, who do we have tomorrow? Oh, yeah. We got, the Dr. Evans. That'll be a good one. So,
Yeah, man.
and then we got Gabby Rooker later this week. So, should be a good week. All right. 202. Peace.
Peace.